Turkey's English language transmission broadcasting from Ankara in the 31-meter band between 1830 and 1930 UTC on 9,785 kHz to Europe, in the 41-meter band between 2030 and 2130 UTC on 7,205 kHz to South Asia and Australia, and in the 31-meter band on 22 and 2300 hours UTC on 9,820 kHz to Europe, Eastern United States of America, and Eastern Canada. The Voice of Turkey is also beamed between 03 and 0400 hours UTC in the 31-meter band on 9,515 kHz to Europe, the United States, Eastern Canada, and Cuba. Between 03 and 0400 hours UTC in the 49-meter band on 6,165 kHz to Iraq, Syria, Iran, and the Arabian Peninsula. You can listen to us over the Turksat 3 satellite and on the internet at www.trt.net.tr through the Voice of Turkey link. Please note that transmissions broadcast between 2030 and 2130 UTC, between 22 and 2300 hours UTC, and between 03 and 0400 hours UTC are pre-recorded. Our email address is english@trt.net.tr.
Following the news and the review of the Turkish press, the Voice of Turkey will present These Were These Hours, Let's Learn Turkish, Question of the Month, and some music. But first, the headlines.
Syria is still in the grip of violence.
Russia detects launch of 2 missiles toward the Mediterranean.
Intense clashes took place in Ras Al Ain, located the opposite Şanlıurfa Ceylanpınar township.
Russia's culture capital, St. Petersburg, will host leaders of the 20 developed countries on September 5th and 6th.
The UN Refugee Agency has laid out some striking facts about Syrian refugees.
And now details of the news.
20 people were killed in an ambush laid by Assad forces in north of Damascus. Foreign nationals were among those who were killed in the attack in Adra region. Reports of violence also coming from Aleppo, Idlib, Dera, and Damascus. A total of 102 people lost their lives in a number of attacks in various Syrian cities. The intensity of attacks in Syria grew amid discussions for a possible Syrian intervention. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry and U.S. Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel will make a briefing today, 3rd of September, at the U.S. Senate on a pending military action against Syria.
Russian Defense Ministry said radars in the country detected 2 ballistic missiles fired toward eastern Mediterranean. The missiles reportedly landed in water. Israel confirmed it conducted joint missile drill with the USA. Russia's Defense Ministry said on Tuesday that its early missile warning systems detected the launch of 2 ballistic targets in the Mediterranean. According to a report by Russian news agency RIA Novosti, the launch was detected at 10:16 Moscow time by a radar in the southern Russian city of Armavir. The agency said further that Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu briefed President Vladimir Putin about the launch.
Intense clashes took place in Ras Al Ain of Syria, located opposite of Şanlıurfa Ceylanpınar township. Clashes that erupted between PYD, PKK's extension in Syria, and al-Nusra Front at night lasted 3 hours. Tanks and howitzers were also used in clashes which caused panic among residents of Ceylanpınar. Several stray bullets were seen in Ceylanpınar town center. Stores were closed for security reasons.
World leaders, among them Russian head of state Vladimir Putin, U.S. President Barack Obama, and Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan will meet at the G20 summit in St. Petersburg. According to a statement issued by Kremlin, Russian President will have bilateral meetings with the leaders of Turkey, China, Japan, South Korea, Italy, India, Argentina, Brazil, Britain, Singapore, and Spain on the sidelines of the summit. Putin and Erdogan will discuss problems in the Middle East area, Syria and Egypt in particular, as well as bilateral ties. The 2 leaders will also make an exchange of views on the preparations for High-Level Cooperation Council meeting planned to be held late November in Moscow. Premier Erdogan will communicate during his private meetings with world leaders Turkey's policies towards Syria. Erdogan is set to arrive in St. Petersburg on September the 4th and will proceed to Argentina, where three key decisions scheduled to be made during the 125th IOC session. Having cancelled Russia-USA summit planned for September 3rd and 4th, Obama is not expected to have a one-on-one meeting with Putin in St. Petersburg.
The UN Refugee Agency has laid out some striking facts about Syrian refugees. A report released by the agency says that about 7 million Syrians have left their homes because of the ongoing civil war in Syria. They account for about one-third of the Syrian population, put at 22 million. The number of those who have taken shelter in neighboring countries has risen to 2 million. Another deplorable fact laid bare by the agency report is the insufficiency of the international aid to the displaced Syrians and those reduced to refugees at home. The UN agency criticizes the international agencies regarding the financial aid extended to meet the requirements of 7 million people, likening what has been donated so far to a drop in the ocean. It cites such neighboring countries as Turkey, Jordan, and Lebanon as having extended a helping hand in the name of humanity by opening their door to fleeing Syrians. The number of people killed in Syria, civil war raging for 2.5 years now, has been put at 100,000.
The news continues on the English language broadcast of the Voice of Turkey. The number of Syrians sheltering in Sweden, having fled the ongoing civil war in their country, has reached 8,000. The Swedish Immigration Department head Anders Danielsson, who this morning announced the taking of new decisions regarding Syrian refugees. They will be granted indefinite residence permit. Danielsson said further that the situation in Syria is worsening by the day and there are no hopes at the moment auguring health for the future, adding that the decision his department had taken complies with international law. He also said that the relatives of the 8,000 Syrians may also come to Sweden, and noted that as Sweden does not have a representation mission in Syria, Syrians should go to the nearest Swedish diplomatic mission in a neighboring country and file application to United with their relatives in Sweden. Sweden is the first EU country to have taken such a decision regarding the Syrian refugees.
Foreign Minister Ahmet Davutoglu will travel to the Swiss city of Geneva to attend a meeting of foreign ministers of countries neighboring Syria to be organized by UN Refugee Agency. A statement by Turkey's foreign ministry said foreign ministers of Iraq and Jordan and Lebanon's social affairs minister will attend the meeting. The meeting aims at raising international community's awareness on Syrian refugees and determining strategies to share the burden of countries hosting these refugees.
U.S. President Barack Obama and his colleagues have been engaged in lobbying activities with congressmen regarding the Syria crisis ahead of the talks planned for next week. President Obama's national security team have met Democrat lawmakers. The meeting, attended by the 127 lawmakers opposed to a military intervention in Syria, has been held through teleconference. The politicians have been informed on the chemical weapons used in Syria during the 70-minute-long meeting. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry, who likened the process to the Munich Agreement, has garnered the support of Democrat members for punitive action to be taken against the Bashar al-Assad regime. Wary of the bitter experiences of their country in both Iraq and Afghanistan, and opposed to yet another similar intervention by the U.S., Democrats have pointed out that the U.S. suffered far too many losses in foreign wars. Obama and Vice President Biden will also meet congressmen at the White House to resolve the stalemate over Syria.
Egypt's interim government seems to be targeting democracy. The committee of experts earlier decided for the Muslim Brotherhood to be closed down. This decision got the response of the Muslim Brotherhood, making an appeal for thousands of people to pour out into the streets to protest against it. The Egyptians say that it is impossible to have the Muslim Brotherhood shut down, that a move in this direction will further strengthen the organization and will it push it underground. In the meantime, a decision has come as a blow to the freedom of expression. Egypt's administrative court has ruled that 3 television channels, Al Jazeera among them, be yanked from the air. However, support to the interim government continues from the Gulf countries. The United Arab Emirates expressed readiness to extend an additional sum of $2 billion.
Foreign Minister Ahmet Davutoğlu has said Turkey has been having its name heard internationally because of its Africa drive. Speaking at the two-day meeting on a sectoral assessment of Africa strategies, Davutoğlu said Turkey had opened 22 new embassies in Africa in the last 5 years and increased fivefold the trade volume with the continent. He said further that economic progress in relations paralleled political developments with many African countries and cited the rise to $20 billion in 2012 from the $3 billion level back in 2002. Foreign Minister Davutoğlu, referring to Turkey's 2023 targets, said the government believes Turkish foreign trade will go up to $100 billion in 2023. He also said that Turkey is on the way to showing its presence as a global power in all parts of the world, and its Africa drive will be turned into a legend to be told generation after generation.
Turkey's national defense industry has grabbed international attention in Poland. The investments by the national defense industry has put their stamp on the 21st International Defense Industry Exhibition in Poland. Accompanied by the National Exhibition of Turkey, the fair serves as a showcase for Turkey's homegrown projects. Turkey's national tank Altay, helicopter Asad, and unmanned aircraft Anka are the products of its national defense industry. Poland's President Komorowski, who visited the Turkish stand at the fair, was briefed on the national products and pointed to the importance of bilateral relations. He said he hoped the fair was going to be instrumental in the technological cooperation of Turkey and Poland, reaching even a more advanced level in defense industry. National Defense Minister İsmet Yılmaz, who also visited the fair, was accompanied by Turkey's ambassador to Poland, Yusuf Ziya Özcan. He said it is a great honor for Turkey to have turned long-standing Turkey-Poland ties into a strategic cooperation in the last 10 years by registering considerable progress through our multilateral relations. The fair opened on 2nd of September, will close on 5th of September.